Welcome to Kautilya, dear aspirants. Now you are going to discuss an important topic. It is explained under, it is given in a Group 2 Indian Economy syllabus. Name of the topic is Economic Growth and Development. Growth and development. Growth and development. So what exactly growth is and what exactly development is, we need to observe and we need to identify similarities, dissimilarities, and what exactly the development is which is necessary for sustained progress of the people. Before 1960, majority of the economists thought of that both were similar. Growth and development before 1960 used interchangeably. Some economists believe that both growth and economic development are similar. But after 1960, particularly writings of J.R. Hicks and Joseph Schumpeter, J.R. Hicks and Joseph Schumpeter differentiated economic growth as well as economic development. So now you have been studying separately these economic growth and economic development concepts. But it was systematically demarcated by J.R. Hicks and Joseph Schumpeter. Let us see what exactly economic growth. Economic growth means a sustained increase in quantity or output of the production. Sustained increase in quantity or output of the production means economic growth always observes quantitative changes in economy. Quantitative changes in economy or physical improvement of the individual. Physical improvement of the individual. Quantitative changes in economy is to be studied under economic growth. Economic growth. A sustained increase in output. Output is to be studied in economic process of economic growth. For example, in 1950-51, our food grains production registered to 50.8 million tons, and similarly by 2013-14, our food grains production registered to 265.4 million tons. This is to be considered as quantitative changes in economy over a period of time. So economic growth means change in GDP. GDP is nothing but annual income of the country. Gross domestic product is nothing but annual income of the country. So increase in GDP or increase in gross national product or increasing national income is considered as economic growth. Economic growth observes how industrial production is taking place, how agriculture production or service exports are been taking place. So here economic growth can be described in terms of greater commercialization of economic activities. Greater commercialization of economic activities means we need to commercialize agriculture sector, means you need to cultivate commercial crops, you need to export these commodities other countries, and you need to generate wealth in the economy. It all happens due to commercial activity of particular sector. Similarly, you need to expand in industrial sector to not only increasing income levels of individuals but also to improve the exports level. So economic growth is defined a sustained annual increase in economies real national income over a long period of time. So a sustained increasing national income, sustained increase means a long-term increasing national income is nothing but economic growth. Economic growth always observes quantitative changes of the economy, means how much is agricultural production, how much is industrial production, and it always observes increase in GDP growth rate or increase in national income over a long period of time. So economic growth is an indicator of wealth. How indicator of wealth means how wealth has been generating in India over a period of time. So it reflects quantity of resources available, to a society. Quantity of resources available to the society means per capita availability of the resources in a given society, given country. Next, similarly, it is to be explained in terms with the help of great thinkers. For example, Arthur Lewis. According to Arthur Lewis, economic growth means growth of output per head of population. Growth of output per head of population. Growth of output per head of the population is considered as economic growth. Similarly, according to famous economist Simon Kuznets, economic growth is a situation where a sustained increase in population along with or accompanied by sustained increase in what is called increase in per capita income. Per capita income means for a head of the per capita PCI is equivalent to national income by total population. Per capita income may be derived by dividing total production with total population. So increasing population accompanied by increasing per capita income is considered as economic growth according to Simon Kuznets, famous economist, Nobel Prize winner. According to Arthur Lewis, economic growth means growth of output for head of the population, means average output for people, output of the people. Next, according to famous economist Jacob Wiener, according to Jacob Wiener, Winer, Jacob Wiener, economic growth is associated with equitable distribution of wealth. It is associated with equitable distribution of wealth. Equitable distribution of wealth is nothing but economic growth according to Jacob Wiener. So economic growth, students, is nothing but quantitative changes in economy over a long period of time. It enhances per capita income, and it is to be studied with respect to the changes, quantitative changes in economy, how quantity has been increasing, how the per capita income has been increasing, how total production or GDP has been increasing, how national income has been increasing. All the changes is to be observed technically in the form of or in the name of what is called economic growth. Similarly, the concept, another concept is economic development. Economic development is much more broad-based concept. Here, economic development which is equivalent to growth. Economic growth plus progressive changes in economy. Progressive changes economy means increasing literacy, increasing life expectancy, and reducing infant mortality rate, increasing quality of the people is considered as progressive changes. Increasing health, increasing life expectancy, minimizing malnutrition, gender equality, all comes under progressive changes. So economic or economic development, which includes quantitative changes as well as qualitative changes in economy. It not only observes physical changes of the economy as well as mental capacity of human beings or qualitative changes of economy. And other meaning, if you observe other aspects, what exactly economic development here is economic development means economic growth plus welfare of the people, welfare mechanism, welfare of the people. Welfare of the people means welfare of the SC, STs, and here growth as well as not only the production but also the distribution of the production to minimize malnutrition, hunger of the people. So it always observes the human satisfaction by observing it, concentrating human-centric aspect, human-centric development. So it economic development is equivalent to economic growth plus structural changes in economy. Structural changes means changes in investments, changes in technology, and changes in quality of the human beings. This is so here economic growth not only observes the quantitative changes of the economy, but also the distributional aspect of these quantitative improvement of the economy. So how the production is to be put against production is to be improved is to be studied in economic growth. And similarly economic development, which includes not only economic growth but also how to distribute it to the largest public, how to minimize the poverty, or how to maximize the life expectancy of the people. So economic development is referred as quantitative, qualitative change in economy, such as development of human capital, critical infrastructure, minimizing regional, gender, caste-based inequalities, caste-based aspects. So establishment of industry, new industry comes under economic growth, and establishment of hospitals comes under what is called economic development. So recently UNDP, United Nations Organization, established Human Development Index to measure correctly economic development in the name of human development. Human development is related to economic development. It is to be attained by improving what is called production as well as productivity. If you observe what exactly the development by the thinkers, economists, they defined economic development in different terms according to Dudley Sears. According to Dudley Sears, economic development means declining poverty or inequalities from higher level is considered as economic development. So according to Dudley Sears, declining of inequalities or poverty from top level is considered as economic development. According to Michael Todaro, a famous economist, economic development is increase in standard of living. Economic development is increasing standard of living, increasing self-esteem, needs, and freedom from oppression. He has used three different words. Economic development means increasing living standards of the people, increasing increasing distribution of self-esteem needs, and increasing the freedom from oppression. Freedom from oppression is called economic development. So, according to Mahbub ul Haq, the problem of development must be defined as a selective attack on worst forms of poverty. So, development is based on how poverty has been removed in any country of the world. Selective removal, the worst form of poverty, and expansion or enlargement of human choice comes under what is called economic development. Enlargement of people choice. So many opportunities, avenues to be provided to the people in the process of economic development. And aspirants, let us see differences between economic growth as well as economic development in any country, because Robert Clover, famous economist, observed that in majority of the countries only economic growth is taking place but not the economic development. Robert Clover observed that in majority of the Gulf countries as well as the countries like Liberia, how economic growth has been increasing because of availability of natural resources such as oil, petrol, other energy resources. Some of the countries their wealth has been increased to many times. But in those countries, Gulf countries such as Iraq, Kuwait, and Iran, majority of the people remain idle. Majority of the people remain idle means unemployment, and majority of the people living below poverty line, and they are with illiteracy, unemployment, poverty, gender inequalities, child labor, all kinds of discriminations are taking place, low level life expectancy. So even though economic growth, prosperity is taking place means wealth has been increased to many times, but there are some of the ancestral social problems, inequalities still persist in those countries. That's why Robert Clover observed and predicted that a broad-based development is necessary along with economic growth. So economic growth always concentrate how to improve the wealth in the society, but it does not concern with how to improve the quality of the individual, how to distribute these commodities to the vulnerable sections of the society, so-called SC/STs and OBCs, Muslim minorities, women, weaker sections of the society. And let us see the differences of economic growth as well as economic development. Here is economic growth, here is economic development. Economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is always associated with quantitative changes in economy. Quantitative changes. So here economic development always concentrate on quality, not only quantitative changes but also qualitative changes of economy. Qualitative changes of economy. According to famous economist Kindle Berger, growth is associated with physical changes of the economy, associated with physical changes of the human beings, how human beings physically has been grown, and so he equated physical changes, equated economic growth. Kendall Berger equated economic growth as physical changes of human beings. And here, according to Kendall Berger, development means not only physical changes but also mental capabilities of the human beings. Mental capabilities of the human beings. So here economic growth, third point, is a narrow concept. Economic development is broad-based concept. Fourth one, economic growth is one unidimensional. It is multidimensional. Uni means it has to focus how to improve the production. But multidimensional means it has to not only concentrate how to improve the production, but also it has to observe. It has to concentrate how to distribute the production for vulnerable sections of the society. Next, here fifth one, economic growth can be measured in terms of units. Means production can be measured in terms of units, but economic development cannot be measured in terms of units. Means declining gender discrimination can't be measured in terms of units. Increasing quality of living can't be measured in terms of units in mathematical form. And sixth one, economic growth is to be attained without involvement of the government. Means production can be improved with the help of private sector or private industries. Here economic development is associated with how the functioning of the government. Without involvement of the government, we can't remove the poverty, unemployment, we can't minimize population growth rate, we can't bring human empowerment. So the excessive role of the government intervention, lot of welfare schemes are necessary to bring a broad-based economic development. And similarly, economic growth is related with developed countries like USA, because the countries, all developed countries, they sailed from growth to development to growth. So initially they were concentrated on how to improve the production. After increasing the production, they concentrated how to improve the quality of the people, how to improve the literacy, how to minimize gender inequalities, and they attained 100% literacy. Now the countries like America concentrating how to improve the growth and how to generate income levels by exporting these commodities. And here under seventh one, under economic development, it is related to developing countries like India. Countries like India are moving from growth to development, not development to growth. They are in the age of development. Already self-sustainability, attained food gains. Now government of India has been taking bold initiatives how to distribute these commodities through public distribution system to address the problems like poverty, or to minimize hunger, malnutrition in the country. So these are various aspects of growth and development. These are not similar. They are being demarcated by famous economists J.R. Hicks as well as Joseph Schumpeter. Next, let us see what are major determinants, factors who determine economic growth. Major factors which determine economic growth. Major factors determine economic growth. Number one, availability of natural resources, means physical resources. According to a traditional opinion, more the natural resources, as more will be the wealth or progress in the country. But it is not relevant to the countries like India. India is having rich natural resources, but it is to be considered as still considered as a underdeveloped country. So here, though India is having rich natural resources, but you are unable, you are not in a position to exploit the resources to optimum level. And so natural resources such as land, water, sun rays, temperature, availability of mine, minerals, etc. So more the availability of mineral resources, land, automatically growth may be improved, according to famous economist Adam Smith. But in Japan is not having, although Japan is not having abundant natural resources, how the Japan become big giant from Asian countries, how Japan become as developed country from Asian continent, even it is not having natural resources. It has been used excessively other resources such as human resources as well as capital resources or financial resources. So definitely natural resources influence the growth, but it has to be used at optimum level. Next, number 2 important factor is capital formation. Capital formation, the modern term is gross fixed capital formation. Gross fixed capital formation is nothing but investments. Capital is divided into two. Number 1, financial resources. Number 2, technological resources. Any addition to capital is nothing but investments. According to famous economist Adam Smith, level of economic development is depending upon level of capital formation. More the capital formation, more will be the wealth generation, and more will be exports, and more will be the foreign exchange earnings. And J.M. Keynes also given importance. J.M. Keynes. So father of modern economics, J.M. Keynes. Father of traditional economics, Adam Smith. So according to J.M. Keynes, the majority of the European countries now become as big giants because earlier they have been used substantial investments from different sectors such as either public sector or by the private sector. And similarly, Joseph Schumpeter also given importance to investments. So according to Joseph Schumpeter, there should be inventions in the society, there should be radical innovations in the society. Radical innovations can be attained through the risk bearing mechanism. Who are going to bear the risk can make sustainable development, can enhance development for economy. So all entrepreneurs, persons who are having high level entrepreneurship, are entrepreneurs who are ready to take risk, they can maximally contribute to the development of the nation. So he has given more importance to entrepreneur because he can take the risk and he can adopt new methods. New methods means he can insert that he can use the more modern technology, modern methods, modern raw materials, or modern innovations. So more the innovations with these methods, more will be the production, more will be the employment, more will be the exports, more will be the wealth generation in the country. So here Joseph Schumpeter given importance, Joseph Schumpeter given importance to entrepreneurship, who are going to coordinate the investments, and here Joseph Schumpeter developed one concept that is called radical innovations. It is to be achieved by greatest entrepreneurship. So it is to be attained with development of new methods, new techniques in the process of production. So this is the second important aspect. And the third important aspect here is available and increasing the population. So level of economic growth also influenced by the level of population. Population is certain extent is necessary according to Edwin Cannon. Optimum growth of population is needed means where the resources are available, population should be equal. Population and availability of resources should be equated in the country. So quality in the population is needed to improve the economic growth, because population is considered as human resource or demographic dividend. So since you are observing, you are taking population as human resource, it is definitely improve the productivity level of the economy. This question was asked in 2011 preliminary examination. What is demographic dividend? Demographic dividend. Demo means people, graphy means study, scientific study of the population is demography. Dividend means asset. Your population is to be considered as a big asset. Human resources play a greater role. Human resources in Japan, hard work, you can see the greatest hardworking people in Japan. Japan is become a big giant because of substantial utilization of human resources in the country. Next, fourth important element is technological progress. Technological progress in the economy. More the technology, more will be the growth in the economy. So substantial sophisticated technology is needed to improve the economy. Modern techniques of technology is needed to improve the production is also identified by the Karl Marx. According to Karl Marx, these capitalist may adopt new techniques or new technology, new machines in the process of production. It not only generate the profits in the country, but it also improve the production in the country. According to Karl Marx, whenever capitalists use modern technology, it not only improve the profits for entrepreneurs, but also increase the productivity in the country. Next, other aspects of economic determinants were considered as non-economic factors. Non-economic factors also definitely influence the economy. Means joint family system discourages economic substantial growth. Joint family system means only male are permitted to perform activities and female remain at idle and become as housewives. Female work is not recognized in all joint families. Religion also influences economic activities. According to a famous economist, famous social scientist Max Weber, modern capitalism emerged from Protestant spirit of ethics. Modern capitalism emerged from Protestant ethics of Protestant ethic spirit of capitalism. So capitalism emerged from the branch of Christianity, so-called Protestantism, because Protestants need a lot of money to serve the countries, to serve the Christian people. That's when they required, when they are participating lot of social services, they required huge money. That's why they encouraged business activity. Finally, it led to the economic process that is called capitalism. So, some of the countries, religion plays a greater role in the process of economic development. Religion, casteism also influences economy. Casteism. So, in recent, till so far in India, the last since time immemorial, caste-based occupations provided economic stability, full-fledged employment opportunities for all rural people in India. So here it is, we can see the interdependence of the caste for the production as well as services. Caste also influences the economic development. Sometimes caste also halt the obstacle for economic development, because some of the castes are permitted to activities because they never encourage inter-caste occupations traditionally. And so these are the various factors which influence the economy greatly. Thank you.